show. Now, we've been talking about how the representation of history in the form of movies and TV dramas plays out in the minds of the viewers, and also you as a person who studies history in depth. How do you see this, the impact of this? Do you see it as being overwhelmingly positive, or do you feel like the embellishment of history, in fact, can be damaging?
Hello, it's great to be here. I have a foot in both camps, really. I'm an academic historian and archaeologist, and so I teach students how to critique history, how to investigate the past. But on the other hand, I also write historical fiction. So I'm a novelist and have I published one novel. I suppose that makes me a novelist. But that was a historical drama, and it was based on historical fact. It was about the Victorian engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel, but it was highly embellished. And I used the characters within that, Florence Nightingale, Charles Darwin, to create basically a detective thriller. And I didn't have a problem with meshing both fact and fiction. In fact, I set myself the challenge as a writer to fool the reader. I wanted the reader to think, is this real, or is this part that he's made up? And indeed it worked, because I had a historian at one point asking me which archives I had found to tell one part of the story. So I can be a little mischievous, but I think it is a serious question. And some historians are very negative about historical fiction, be it writing or TV dramas and movies. But again, I've become involved. I've been the historical advisor I was the historical advisor, for instance, on the first two series of the TV show Outlander. I was one of the historical advisors on the Netflix movie Outlaw King. So it's something that I'm very interested in, but I am all the time aware of the liberties that these dramas take with history. And for instance, Outlander, I was brought on to that job by the showrunner, by the producer, because I was a recognized expert in the Jacobite period in 18th century Scotland, which is where the series is mostly set. And I was also a novelist. So he said to me when he came to my office at the university, he said, we would like you to advise us on this series. It's going to be huge. We didn't know then how huge. And he said, one of the reasons we want you to come on board is not because you're an expert in the period, that's important, but you're also a novelist, you know how narrative works, and you have not shied away from taking liberties.
Right.
So my job there was to take the scripts in draft and read through them before any production of them started and make notes and say, this is historically inaccurate, this is how this would happen, this is how that document would read.
Mr.